I'm just gonna first, before I introduce, I'm gonna share this inside the Facebook group so that our Facebook group members can also watch you guys. Okay. Okay, great, awesome. So we're gonna get started, and I have my awesome Ivy League formula students. They actually just wrapped up the program, so I think that it's a great time to talk about their passion project, what they were able to accomplish in the last 6 months, all of that. So before we get started, we'll do a quick introduction. So Ashwin, if you want to start, share with us where you're from, your name, and anything else you'd like to share.
So I'm Asher Desai, and I started with Julia around 6 months ago, and I'm from Cupertino, California, and I'm a junior applying to college soon.
Yeah, got hit by COVID-19 real hard.
Yeah.
We'll get through this. Awesome. And then we have our student Drew.
Yeah, my name's Drew. I'm in 9th grade, and I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
Yeah, we have California, and then we got the East Coast. All right, sounds good. So let's go ahead and start with your passion project. And I think you guys have a really unique one. So it's perfect that you guys are here sharing that with our students and families. So Ashwin, why don't you go ahead and share with us about your passion project and why you decided to work on that and anything else you'd like to share.
So when I started with Julie around 6 months ago, we had like an entire brainstorm session to see what I really like in my academic interest and all that. So then through Julie, I came to the conclusion of doing like business like / marketing and my personal like interest, which is photography and things like that. So then I started like my own first website, then my own like business where people can come through me to take photos for all that stuff. And then from that, like I've been able to make my own website, talk to researchers about my research professors about my business and things like that. And then I was also able to see what I want to do in the future, which was to take wedding photos and also prom photos. But prom doesn't seem like an option anymore. So, yeah. So then we only didn't focus on my business. We also talked about like talking to professors and going to outreach and all of those sorts of things. So I don't know if we talk about that later on, but I'll stop there for now.
Awesome. I think your passion project idea is it's something that is beyond college admissions, because I'm sure when you are a businessman one day and you are an entrepreneur one day, you look back and just think, oh, right, like when I was in high school, I started that website or I started that business. And so I think it's awesome that you've actually just put yourself out there and started something. And I think all high school students aiming for business majors, they really need to understand that like you just got to do it. Like you can't just like read about it, like how a business is done. You have to like put yourself out there. And so
I feel like when most people like think about business, they think I'm gonna become like an investment banker at high school and things like that. But they don't know like you can start a business with whatever you have like at your disposal.
Oh yeah, and they're not looking for you to make millions of dollars as a high school student. Business schools want you to just do it and share with them your experience, right? Like now that prom is canceled, what are you gonna do? And you know how you actually pivoted a little bit, right?
So like I thought about this with my brother and my family, like what I could do. And like since like a lot of like mom and pop shops have been like recently closed down because of this. So I think my idea was to like, make a list during this time to see like all like, the small stores near around me. And then as soon as like quarantine's over, I can make like like a portfolio of like small business that have helped through marketing by taking photos and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So it's aligned with like my personal interests and my business for photography and my academic interest for like marketing and business.
Yeah. And both of you guys already had an online presence. Like because of coronavirus, you weren't like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do? Like I have nothing that I've created online. You guys already had that. So it was just a matter of what else can I do with what I have? And also you wrote blog posts, right? Can you share a little bit about that and why you started writing blog posts for your website?
So like I started writing blog posts like around like February, March time. So then like we started that like to first of all get my presence out there in case like something does happen, which was a really smart move.
Uh-huh.
And then I just like when I thought of starting a blog, I thought it was like a lot of like tedious work, tedious writing. But then it was just like stuff that I would want to know if I started off. So then it was just like a really easy to start writing. You started going like just start writing and just like finish it off really quickly. So like my blog posts like range from like, oh, what you can do as a high schooler to get opportunities for photography, and like they also range from like how to edit photos and like what are possible things you could do like to help like local businesses after quarantine and things like that. So then like I just thought of like whatever's thing at the time or what I would want to know coming like into like the industry, I guess, and I just wrote about it.
Mm-hmm. Right, and you're also helping other high school students do the same, and so it really highlighted your theme, which was to like help people and also, be creative. So it's a good combination of those. Awesome. Drew, you want to share with us your passion project? And I think a lot of like pre-med students or students who are interested in science might really find your passion project interesting.
Yeah, so I'm interested in medicine, like as my career, but another thing I've also been doing over the years in my childhood and like I'm still doing it now is robotics. So I have an interest in like psychological mental disorders. So I decided to try to combine the robotics with that. And I started a class for kids with autism that taught robotics through in-person sessions. So we all actually met up, and then I had to advertise it, and then I also had to get volunteers and contact the parents and everything. And we had our first few classes, and I got a really positive response, and like that kind of showed me that I can make an impact. And then after this whole thing happened, and now we're all stuck at home. Now I'm just trying to make videos for the kids to try to like keep in touch with them, stay connected, and try to educate remotely.
Awesome. I think the way that, so can you share with our audience who you're helping? Because I think that is just what differentiates your passion project from anyone else's out there. So who are you helping?
Yeah, I'm helping kids with autism. And yeah, and they're usually in the age range of maybe like 11 to 5. So it's like the younger kids. And a lot of the time, those kids aren't eligible to participate in opportunities like that. Like all these, like you can just in like a simple town, there's so many different STEAM classes these days or robotics classes that you can easily pay for and sign up. But a lot of the times, these slower learners aren't really eligible to do that. Mm-hmm. And those classes aren't compatible with them. So I tried to cater a program to them. And yeah.
I think that's so amazing. Like, I cannot believe a 9th grader can actually start a program. And you found the need for it, and you were like, I want to do it. So you would reach out to parents and just really showing initiative. That's great. Awesome. Okay, so anything else you guys want to share about your passion projects?
Not really.
Now is the time to promote like members for your passion project. We'll go ahead and add in the links to your passion project after the call is over. So if anyone wants to contact you, they can. I want to ask you guys, I think a lot of other students and parents are curious about this too. And you could be totally honest about this question. Like, why did you first decide to work with me and in the Ivy League formula program? And I actually asked this question yesterday to my other formula students, and like my parents, but then they said they ended up really liking it. So anyway, we can just be totally honest. Like, why did you guys decide to enroll in this Ivy League formula program? We would love to know initially.
So in the beginning, it was obviously like my parents told me about it. Then like after maybe 1 or 2 sessions, I realized that it wasn't just like an average like class where you just go sit down and like the teacher talks to you. It's much more like interactive. And like I especially found value that like you kind of like pushed us to do stuff instead of just saying like, oh, you could do this. You're like, get on it. I want it done by next week. Like, we actually ended up making progress instead of just kind of like planning it out forever and not really getting to it. Like I know for me personally, it was like I was trying to like plan out my classes and I was like, oh, maybe I could get it started by like February. and then like you kept pushing me, and I kind of I got it done by like December, January-ish. So yeah.
Wow, you make me sound like a scary person. Great.
For me, it was kind of different. So my mom figured out about you like back when I was in my freshman year, but then like I kind of had like an ego and things like I'm like I don't need a college counselor, blah 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 blah. I can do it myself. But then junior year rolled around, I'm like maybe I do need a college counselor. But so I'm like okay, my mom already figured out about Julie. Let's hit her up, right? So then I realized like the Ivy League formula wasn't like a typical like college counseling thing where you just like sit down and write essays. I'm like, this is different. So like I came to your live stream for this, similar to this, and then I realized how much passion you had for like talking to kids and things like that. So then I got motivated. So I'm like, okay, why not? Let me just sign up. And like the first few classes, I'm like, I just saw like everyone from like everyone we were working with inside the group, and I'm like, this is like they motivate you to work harder as well. It's not just you like helping us out, like you guys can do this, blah blah blah. Like, oh, you see someone else like start this, start that, like okay, I can't be left in the dust. I have to like step it up too. So I think that's like another like really like beneficial thing about this is like the group environment.
Oh yeah, and I think people tend to think group class is like I'm like lecturing for like 3 hours and you're just like looking at it, but it's very very interactive and it's very and it pushes you. And I felt the same way like when I was young, like when I would see like my friends show up, you know, to these things and do really well, I'm like, wait a minute, like I need to get to work. Awesome. Okay, so I guess my next question is, you guys mentioned very briefly like how this is not a typical college consulting program. And so what was your biggest takeaway in the program? Or let's go with that one first. Like what was your biggest gain? Because obviously like motivation is one thing, but you got to like get something done, right? We can't just like talk about it. So what was your biggest takeaway?
For me, there's like age doesn't matter, like what you want to do. So like when like I first started, I'm like, okay, when I do photography business, it won't be that big. I'll probably take photos here and there. But then you told me you could do this, this, and this. You just got to put your mind to it and have the right attitude towards like getting what you want done. So then that was one of the biggest takeaways. And then the other one is talking and communicating, networking is the most important thing for college admissions. Like you don't even have to get like, okay, you can join me like from a college professor. Just like having your name inside like college professor's mind is a huge advantage compared to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other people don't take the time and energy to contact them, ask questions, and do all of like the hard nitty gritty work in order to make your chances of getting into a better college higher. Yeah.
Oh yeah, networking is so important. Like if there's student A and B, and A networked and got to know the professor, got to know the college admission officers, who do you think is going to get in, right? And I think a lot of high school students are scared. I mean, before the program, you guys like never networked or anything like that, right?
I didn't know like that was like a thing.
Yeah, so you guys are probably like, what? Like, how do you even do it? Like, why is this important? And so it's really important for high school students to learn how to do this, not only for college admissions, but you guys have like 50, 60 years ahead of you, right? You need to learn how to communicate and put yourself out there. And it is scary, right? And I think we always talk about how like, you want to do things that scare you, because if you don't want to be scared, then you could just do what you've been doing for the rest of your life. And where is that going to get you, right? So all the passion projects you guys worked on, I know that there's resistance. Like Dhruv was saying, like, I was going to do it next year, but you're telling me to do it now. So there is that kind of like fear and also resistance that comes with it. But who do you think Ivy League and top tier colleges are looking for? Like students who do it despite fear and despite doubt and just seeing what happens. Obviously, I'm not telling you guys to do something crazy, but anyway, that's a really good point. Like networking is something that a lot of students don't know how to do. Awesome.
Yeah, for me, like I'm in 9th grade, so I haven't really like, this is kind of the first time I've been like exposed to this whole like college admissions world. I learned that there's so much more to like college admissions and like preparing and like trying to get accepted. There's so much more than just like being smart. Like, to be honest, when I came in like to this program, I was expecting a bunch of like kids who like they were just super smart and like they're amazing at everything. But then when I came in, it was like a group of people like learning and growing together, like all doing the same thing. And then I also learned to like act on things. So don't just like kind of like I was saying before, like don't just kind of try to plan it out, get it perfect, and like you said, like the resistance. There's gonna be a lot of resistance, but I think the main takeaway from all this was just like try to get things done, start as early as possible, and just kind of like my work ethic kind of changed from this because I'm just like now that I've seen that it's possible to do things like that in a short span of time and like find success, I think it's like changed me a lot.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, confidence is a huge thing, and you guys did all of that in 6 months, which is pretty crazy, right? I think that's it for my questions, but there's one more thing that you guys brought up that I think other students would find helpful. How did the group setting help you guys? And I know like after the during the last call, I felt very like not like crazy emotional, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I've been seeing these students in this room like all the time together, and you guys kind of like networked amongst each other, and you guys were like supporting each other, and I'm sure you guys felt very connected by the end of the session, and you guys are all over the country, so that is also really cool. But how is the group aspect?
Yeah, so the group aspect I think is like a huge part of the effectiveness of this whole idea, because like say if it was like a one-on-one and like each of us was just doing this on our own, I think like Ashwin was saying before, like you would not be motivated at all to continue. Like in the group setting, you can see how everyone else is like making progress and doing all these big things, so you feel motivated to do the same, and also you don't feel like you're kind of wasting your time doing these things because you see all these other people striving towards it and working hard for it.
For me, it was the same thing as Drew said. Like another main thing is like, suppose you already have like your passion project set, and you want to do some other things like some other things outside of what your passion project is. You can like talk to people who've already been doing what you want to do. For example, like, since I need to like help with the professor emails, I hit up Riley and I hit up Chloe. Okay, so your professor emails and things like that. Like I did it in between sessions. So then I didn't have to wait to the next session for you to like, oh, here's a template and waste another 2 weeks. So now I was able to get things done really like quickly just by like talking to like my friends throughout like the program. And then like after you're like getting exposed to like their personality, like they become your friends too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I hope you guys can become like friends for a long time. And I don't know, you guys might go to the same college one day, like who knows, right? I think that's really great. Actually, like my other formula kids, they actually started like their Instagram like group, so they like support each other there. So I think the group aspect is very important. Yeah. Great. Okay, anything else you guys want to share about your passion project? Any pitch you guys want to do? Are you guys looking for team members? Like you guys can do it here, but there's thousands of people watching this.
If you have young kids and they're trying to learn programming, go check out Spectrum STEAM on YouTube. The link will probably be in the description.
If you ever need help with photos and things like that, go to daysciphotography.net. That's it.
And I think, Ashwin, you can also recruit high school students who are interested in business, and they could also write for your blog too, and you guys could create a team around it. Like the way that who is it? And they're not in our round, but anyway, there are students where they're getting team members to be on their passion.
For sure, whoever's interested in like being a part of business and writing for me, please hit me up. I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and add in all of your websites, not email addresses because that's too personal, but I'll go ahead and put in your websites into the chat box. We'll go ahead and wrap up the call. And if you guys have anything to share to maybe students and parents who are like wondering, like, what is this program, or who is this Julie girl? Like, you know, what would you share with them? Like, if they're thinking like, should I join? Should I work with her? What would you guys share? You can be honest.
I would say if you want to get things done, if you just want to get things done and more things done than you expect that you would, just go with Julie.
Yeah. Also, like,
Yeah.
You guys make me sound like a hardcore, like, you
That's
know,
a good thing, though.
yeah. Also, it's not. It sounds like it's a lot of work, like accomplishing all this in 6 months. But if you pick the right passion project, which she helps you do a lot of, it'll be like fun to work on it, and like you'll like find joy in making progress. So
Yeah.
I just try it out.
Awesome. Okay, Ashwin and Dhruv, thank you so much for participating in the series. And I'll see you guys in the coaching calls.
Yep.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
You too.
Bye, Julie.